working. Then why to write? You want some additional functionality. That means at the time of updating, already it is updating. You want some more activities, then you can define. Right? Already it is unmounting. Can you tell what kind of activities we can write in unmount? As a developer, what kind of actions extra I can write in unmount? Unmount is already unsubscribing to events. It is already cleaning up the memory allocated for events and methods. It is cleaning up the memory allocated for component. What extra you can do in unmount phase? What extra you can do? What do you say? What extra you can perform? Anything? Local storage already created. Local storage, what local storage means? Already local storage is created, and in that some data is stored at the time of updating events. Now you type something, then what happens? That is stored in local storage or session storage when at the time of updating. At the time of updating. So you can tell like this, you can clean up the local storage, right? Because when component unmounts, will local storage delete? Local storage is not deleted. Local storage is still present, even component unmounts. Now, if you want to clean that local storage, then you can write that in which phase unmount. Suppose you are creating some database connections. Generally, when you write database connections, connection pooling will be there. Connection pooling means we allocate memory for recently used connections so that we don't need round trips every time. Then those connections are still active even when you close the component. Then what you can do, you can clean up the connection pools, you can clean up the local and session storages. All these extra you can do on which phase? Unmount phase. Unmount phase. That is what important is. So how you write these phases? For example, you are having this events. Suppose what we done is this is set state. Suppose in that set state, what we created here is we configured another value. What is it? Here we will define another one like username. Username is a string. Okay, it is an empty string. Usually it is having. And I will set state. So username is equal to some John. That is the value. That means now what happens? It set states username John, and it should be stored. Local storage I am using. Set item is what? Username. I can use local storage or I can use what? Session storage. Session storage set item, and set item is uname, and what is the value? Value is this dot state dot username. That is the value we need to set. That is on session state we are defining. That means you see now actually. So when we run this page, let's say here, refresh, and let's go to the so let's go to inspect. In the inspect, let's go to application. In the application, let's go to session storage. In session storage, currently empty. I click on add new. When I click on add new, uname is created. In that value is not there because session is not there. Actually, that username is not there. We will keep some username directly here, because this is also to be done at the time of creating itself, because set username is actually empty. There is nothing value. I will just keep the value John. Later we will put an example there. So add new, it is John. Now what should happen here is you added this, and when you closed, then automatically component will unmount. At that phase you need to delete this value. Then what you can do, there is local storage and session storage. Currently we are not having any local storage here, we are having only session storage. In session storage, what I will do now, I will write another phase. What is the phase? The phase is component will unmount. Component will unmount. Here we have session storage dot clear. It will delete all the session. Additionally, we are doing that. That means usually what happens, one user moves from one component to another. Actually here we are having only one component. So that means you see username is there. Let's do one thing. Let me clear up this and open localhost 000. It is opened here. Let's go and inspect. Again I am loading that component here, and you can see when I again load the component in the application, in the session storage, it is empty. Why? Because previously component unmounted. When component unmounted, we clean the sessions. You can clean the local storage, you can clean the sessions, you can disconnect the data connections, any open. All such activities are written on which phase? Unmount phase. That is the point. So already the events are there. If already events are there, why you are writing again a new event? That means already they are running. Why you are writing them again? Because we want some additional functionality to happen. So additional functionality to happen, then we can do that. For example, I am writing here. So component did update. That is the method we are writing. And we said this dot set state. So here we are using username is some David, something like this. We are defining some. So David like this. On update we are configuring. Usually what happens, update means what? This is the mount phase and this is the update. This is not update. Now I click again, it is updated. Initially which phase is there? Initially mount phase. So actually initial mount phase, it is what? John. Now when you click on this button, which phase will fire up? Update phase will fire up. When update phase fire up, you can see that John changes to David. That means automatically it identifies that the previous value and current value is different, and it will update that. That is means events will trigger on which phase? Update. On update phase, events will trigger. Events are registered in mount. They are registered in mount phase. So all these events are present. Then why you need to write these events? We need to write these events in order to handle a concept of performing additional activities. That means if you want some additional activities to perform at the time, then you can manage this. This is the complete important thing you should know about component lifecycle. Every description and detail is inside those 3 diagrams, right? Those 3 diagrams I will upload into class. That presentation I will upload into the class. Okay. Now once you know this, now another point is we have to go into the concept of component properties. Already we learned component properties in function. In class component, how the properties will work. And now we will go into the concept of forms, form validations, how to handle in function and class components. That we will see in next session, right? So in the next session, we are going to discuss about properties and forms concept now. Now we have some major concepts coming. We will discuss about forms validations. We will discuss about routing. Routing is building the perfect single page application. These are very major things now, right, that we will see in the next sessions. Okay, so that we will see on Monday again, right? Yeah, Monday we'll continue with that.